Chapter 2, Section 1. In approach to Pell, May 2nd, 52. The convoy winked in. The carrier Norway first, and then the 10 freighters. More, as Norway loosed her 4 riders and the protective formation spread itself wide in its approach to Pell's star. Here was refuge, one secure place the war had never yet reached, but it was the lapping of the tide. The worlds of the far beyond were winning, and certainties were changing on both sides of the line. On the bridge of the ECS-5, the jump carrier Norway, there was rapid activity. The 4 auxiliary command boards monitoring the riders, the long Isle of Calm operations, and that of Scan and that of their own command. Norway was in constant comlink with the 10 freighters, and the reports passed back and forth on those channels were terse, ship's operations only. Norway was too busy for human disasters. No ambushes. The station at Pell's World received signal and gave reluctant welcome. Relief whispered from post to post of the carrier. Private, not carried on internship calm. Signy Mallory, Norway's captain, relaxed muscles she had not known were tense, and ordered arms comp downgraded to stand by. She held command over this flock, 3rd captain in seniority of the 15 of Mazian's fleet. She was 49. The Beyonder rebellion was far older than that, and she had been freighter pilot, rider captain, the whole gamut, all in the Earth Company's service. Her face was still young. Her hair was silver gray. The rejuve treatments which caused the gray kept the rest of her at somewhere near biological 36, and considering what she shepherded in and what it portended, she felt aged beyond 49. She leaned back in her cushion, which looked over the upcurving, narrow aisles of the bridge, punched in on her arm console to check operations, stared out over the active stations and the screens which showed what Vid picked up and what Scan had. Safe. She lived by never quite believing such estimations. And by adapting. They all did. All of them who fought this war. Norway was like her crew. Varied salvage. A Brazil and Italia and Wasp and jinxed Miriam B. Parts of her dating all the way back to the days of the freighter war. They took what they could, gave up as little as possible. As from the refugee ships she guided, under her protection. There had been in decades before a time of chivalry in the war, of quixotic gestures, of enemy rescuing enemy and parting under truce. They were human, and the deep was wide, and they had all known it. No more. From among these civilians, neutrals, she had extracted the useful ones for herself, a handful who might adapt. There would be protests at Pell. It would do them no good. No protest would, on this or other matters. The war had taken another turn, and they were out of painless choices. They moved slowly, at the crawl which was the best the freighters could manage in real space. Distance Norway or the riders, unencumbered, could cross pushing light. They had come in dangerously close to the massive Pell star, out of plane with the system, risking jump accident and collisions. It was the only way these freighters could make haste, and lives rode on making time. Receiving approach instructions from Pell, Calm told her. Graf, she said to her lieutenant, take her in. And punching in another channel, D, put all troops on standby, full arms and gear. She switched back to Calm. Advise Pell it had better evacuate a section and seal it. Tell the convoy if anyone breaks formation during approach, we'll blow them. Make them believe it. Got it, Calm Sr. said, and in due time. Station master's on in person. The station master protested. She had expected so. You do it, she told him. Angelo Constantine, of the Constantines of Pell. You clear that section, or we do. You start now, strip out everything of value or hazard, down to the walls, and you put those doors on lock and weld the access panels shut. You don't know what we're bringing you. And if you delay us, I may have a shipload dead. Hansford's life support is going. You do it, Mr. Constantine, or I send the troops in. And you don't do it right, Mr. Constantine, and you have refugees scattered like vermin all over your station, with no IDs and ugly desperate. Forgive my bluntness. I have people dying in their own filth. We number 7,000 frightened civs on these ships, what left Mariner and Russell's Star. They're out of choices and out of time. You're not going to tell me no, sir. There was a pause, distance, and more than enough delay for distance. We've sounded the evacuation of sections of Yellow and Orange Dock, Captain Mallory. Medical services will be available, all that we can spare. Emergency crews are moving. We copy regarding sealing off the affected areas. Security plans will be set in motion at once. We hope that your concern is as great for our citizens. This station will not permit the military to interfere in our internal security operations or to jeopardize our neutrality, but assistance under our command will be appreciated. Over. Signe relaxed slowly, wiped sweat from her face, drew an easier breath. Assistance will be given, sir. Estimated docking 4 hours. If I delay this convoy all I can. I can give you that much time to get ready. Has news about Mariner gotten to you yet? It was blown, sir. Sabotage. Over. We copy 4 hours. We appreciate the measures you urge us to take, and we are taking them in earnest. We are distressed to hear about the Mariner disaster. Request detailed briefing. Further advise you, we have a company team here at the moment. It's highly distressed at these proceedings. She breathed an obscenity into the comm. And they're demanding to have all of you turned down for some other station. My staff is attempting to explain to them the condition of the ships and the hazard to life aboard, but they're putting pressure on us. They consider Pell's neutrality threatened. Kindly appreciate that in your approach, and bear in mind that the company agents have requested contact with you in person. Over. She repeated the obscenity, expelled a breath. The fleet avoided such meetings when possible, rare as they were in the last decade. Tell them I'll be busy. Keep them off the docks and out of our area. Do they need pictures of starving colonists to take back with them? Bad press, Mr. Constantine. Keep them out of our way. Over. They're armed with government papers, Security Council. That kind of company team. They have rank to use, and they're demanding transport deeper beyond. Over. She chose a second obscenity and swallowed it. Thank you, Mr. Constantine. I'll capsule you my recommendations on procedures with the refugees. They've been worked out in detail. You can, of course, ignore them, but I'd advise against it. We can't even guarantee you that what we're disembarking on Pell isn't armed. We can't get among them to find out. Armed troops can't get in there, you understand? That's what we're giving you. I'd advise you keep the company boys out of our docking areas entirely before we have hostages to deal with. Copy? In transmission. We copy. Thank you, Captain. In transmission. She slumped in place, glared at the screens, and shot an order to comm to capsule the instructions to Station Command. Company men, and refugees from lost stations. Information kept coming steadily from stricken Hansford, with a calm on the part of its crew she admired. Strictly procedures. They were dying over there. Crew was sealed into command and armed, refusing to abandon ship, refusing to let a rider take Hansford in tow. It was their ship. They stayed by it and did what they could for those aboard. They stayed by it and did what they could for those aboard. By remote. They had no thanks from the passengers, who were tearing the ship apart, or had been doing so, until the air fouled and the systems began to break down. 4 hours.